Welcome back to Carneades.org. Today we're going to be continuing with our series, Dumbfounding Definitions, Dizzying Distinctions, and Diabolical Doctrines, a series sorting through some of the jargon of philosophy. In this video we're going to be looking at pure versus impure properties. Now, there are many properties that objects may possess, such as being green, being round, being an ant, being the descendant of Socrates, including the state of California, being taller than Kilimanjaro, or having Jim Carrey as a member of. Philosophers have a range of distinctions that they use to distinguish between different properties. In this video, we will look at pure and impure properties and how they contrast with intrinsic and extrinsic properties. Check out the earlier video on intrinsic and extrinsic properties for more information on that distinction. But now we'll get started on pure versus impure properties. So, pure properties are those that do not reference any particular substance, any particular instance of a concrete particular. So, being a father is a pure property, but being the father of Oprah is not. Being to the left of something is a pure property, but being to the left of my dog is not. Being an area of space that includes some planets is a pure property, but being an area of space that includes the Earth is not. If reference is made to a specific individual particular in a property, then it is not pure. Otherwise, it is. Note that being red or being cubical are pure properties, since they do not reference some concrete particular. But being the same shape as this die, or the same color as this rose, would not be pure because they are referencing a concrete particular. Impure properties, on the other hand, are those which are not pure. In effect, those which do reference some individual particular. So being the descendant of Socrates is an impure property, but being the descendant of someone is not. Being on top of my house is an impure property, but being on top of something is not. Being a group of people with Jim Carrey as a member is an impure property, but being a group of people with at least one person as a member is not. If something includes a reference to an individual particular object, it is an impure property. While it may seem like intrinsic and extrinsic properties would map onto pure and impure properties perfectly, they don't. You can have impure intrinsic properties, such as being a landmass including the state of Colorado. This is clearly impure as it includes a concrete particular, namely the state of Colorado. However, it's also intrinsic, as whether or not a landmass includes Colorado is an internal property of that landmass. If it includes Colorado, Colorado is internal to that landmass. The property being an area of space that includes the Earth is similarly impure, as it references a concrete particular, but it is intrinsic, since it's about the things that are a part of that space itself. If you have the property of including Earth, that property is about something that is within that object, that area of space. Similarly, there are extrinsic and pure properties. Being a mother is an extrinsic property, since it's about an individual's relation to other objects. But it's also a pure property, since it doesn't reference any specific object. Similarly, having the property of orbiting a star is an extrinsic property, since it's about something other than the object itself. But it's a pure property because it doesn't reference any particular star or concrete object. You might be concerned with these definitions if you have a different definition of a concrete particular. If you think properties look more like tropes, i.e. abstract particulars, you might think that many more properties than what we're listing here are impure. Check out our video on tropes, the philosophical kind, not the internet kind, for more information. What do you think? Are these real definitions of pure and impure, or is there some question as to how they would define particular properties? Are there kind of edge cases you could give of a property that doesn't seem to fit in either category? How would a belief in tropes change these definitions? Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, hit that notification bell if you like this content and you want to see more. Watch this video and more here at Carneades.org, and stay skeptical, everybody.